Right. We have now kind of enough information to start working on bots. So what I will do is I'll do 8 bots. Sorry, workflows. My head. 8 workflows. These are the 8 workflows that we will do. In fact, one of them, this one, is the one that we did, the first workflow that we did. So this is already done. Not necessary to repeat it. And I will make one video for each of the workflows. And my goal, my objective is that you see me, the process of how to do. You need to see how to do many workflows. And that's the best way that things will start getting in your head and sticking it. The ideal is that you have 2 computers or 2 screens or the 2 browsers, and you see what I do and you do the same, okay? And you copy exactly the same, because first copy to understand, and then you will be able to do your own bots. So let's start with the first bot. Get email, text, and write it to Google Docs. Right. Email, Gmail to Docs. I will call it Gmail text to Docs. Great. Let's go. So workflows, add workflow, and we said that the name was, I'll copy. This is the name of the workflow. Okay. Then what we need to do, it's a Gmail trigger on message received. Okay, on message received. Which credentials? Fortunately, we have the credentials, the ones from the 28th of April. Okay. And here I can specify how often do I want to check this. Every minute is fine. Yeah. Event on message received. Yes. Simplify. No, don't simplify it. And well, I'll see what I receive. I'll fetch it to see which was the last. Yeah, you see, output JSON, and the text should be the text is here in this property. How do I know? Well, to be honest, I don't know. I was checking now, but I guess in the docs, no, they don't specify. They refer you to the Gmail. They refer you to the Gmail API. The Gmail API. So that you can find what are the properties that this is retrieving you. Anyway, I'll test it one moment. I will send myself a Gmail now with a certain text to make sure that this is the property. Okay, I'm sending myself an email. I'll refresh this with fetch, test, and event. I'm refreshing. JSON text. Yeah, this is the text that I wrote in the email. I can show you in case you don't believe me. Hello, this should be the text, right? There is where the property, the text comes. Okay, so in the next node, Google Docs, and in case you didn't create the ChatGPT account, please come to to openai.com, create an account, because I will use this to ask. For example, let's see. Can you tell me the object that the Gmail API service returns? The properties of the object that the Gmail API service returns. Let's see if snippet payload, headers, size, history. And I have seen a property called text, but you are not mentioning it. let's see, payload, text, if that's correct. Payload, schema, no. In this case, I'm not getting, well, I'll keep it here as a reference, but it's not entirely, it's not 100% reliable, as you can see now, because for some objects, maybe, particularly for those related to message parts and message body, the text property contains a plain text content. Yes, yeah, yeah, it was correct. But I had to investigate. Perhaps I didn't ask the question like perfectly. Anyway, I'll keep it here as a reference to use it as a guide, as a help to my development. Next, Google Docs. I will create a Google Docs in my drive, Google Drive, okay? Because I'll create a Google Docs called Gmail text. Okay, here I have it, Gmail text, you see. And the important will be this ID. This ID, I will copy it, Control-C, copy that ID. It doesn't really matter at this point in which folder of the Google Drive this is allocated. That's not relevant now. But the ID, yes. Look at the how you call that? The bars. Okay, the bars and this token is your ID, the ID of this document. So select it, and here says, okay, credentials. We don't have credentials for Google Docs because we created credentials for Gmail and for Drive. So we need credentials for Google Docs. Do we know how to do this? Yes, we just need to repeat the process that we did with the credentials. So first of all, I will fulfill this data because I have it saved. So look at this folder name, well, I'm not connecting yet, so one moment. Let's first get the credentials. Create new credential, OAuth 2, client ID. Let's go back to the Google Cloud, you remember. I'll open it. This was my Google Cloud, and I need the APIs and services. APIs and services. Credentials, sorry, this is in, one moment, this is in Spanish. No, it's in English, so APIs and services. Here, credentials. And I'll use always the same credentials. Client ID, remember, client ID goes here. Client secret goes here. Sign in with Google, IoT, advanced settings, last option, enable everything, continue, and connected. Great. This, when you repeat it 3 or 4 times, it will be, well, very simple, and then you will not have to repeat it ever again, or almost never, because the credentials will be saved. You will only need to repeat it in case that you want to delete the old credentials and create new ones, or create some credentials for another user, or you have your computer has broken and the credentials are lost. But in the rest of scenarios, you will not need to use these credentials. But I didn't specify a name. Let's see, I'll try to change the name, credentials. Yeah, save this. This is the one. Let's see if I can edit. Yeah, I can edit the name. Google, and I will put it as Google Docs. Udemy English tutorial. To find them, I'll use the Udemy English tutorial so that it will be easier for me to find these credentials. Save, great. Now I go back to the workflow, the Gmail text to docs, and I will also put the name Udemy always to find them. English, more for me than for you, but like this will be easier for me to find it. Now I come here again and you see English Udemy tutorial credentials. Great. Now resource documents. Do I want to create a document? No, because I already created a document, and that's the I want to have in the same Google Docs all the texts. Okay. Why? Well, it's the exercise, but I could create. Why not? What do you prefer? Well, you're not answering. My drive, Udemy tutorial. I'll create it. No, I'll create it, and then I will put the data so that we start making it a bit more complicated. Title. Which title? Has issues parameter title is required. We need to specify a title for this doc, but here I will execute the previous nodes, and I will always get the text, subject, date. Let's see if there is here. I'm trying to find the trying to find the title. Subject. Yes, the subject. Okay, this will be the name of the file. The subject is the title. Look at this JSON.object subject. We will explore this $JSON with the expressions when it's necessary, because now I don't want to introduce this, but there is somewhere in here an object called $JSON that is where the data, this data is existing, and in order to get only the subject, .subject, but if we drag and drop, it's out, the syntax, it's automatically defined there for us. So yeah, subject, drag the hand, and this double curly braces, what I'm saying to N8N is that whatever it's inside here, it's interpreted as JavaScript language, as JavaScript syntax. Okay, so inside the JSON object, which is this one on the left, get me the subject dot. You remember the JSON class? So dot subject, and now this will create. I'm not going to execute it yet, or yes, I'll execute it, and that will create me a. If there is not not error. Kind of ID. This ID. Let's go to my Google Drive. Yeah, this is my Google Drive, and here, alerta de seguridad is the file that has been created. You see, alerta de seguridad is the name of the file created. The ID AKK. If I select it, AKK. Yeah, that's it. Okay, great. So it has been created. Fantastic. But now we need to add the text. Okay? So this node is working well, and now we need another node of Google Docs. We select the credentials. You see, now we don't need to create them again. Now we can use them. Resource operation update. Okay? Which ID of document? This ID of the document that was just created by your previous node. So we get the ID here, and actions, text, look at this, action, insert, find and replace text, insert, I could even edit text. I'm not going. This is so wide. Like, of course, I will not cover all the possibilities of all the possible workflows. That would be impossible. First of all, because they are infinite, because there is infinite amount of possible workflows. But look at this. Like, you can edit the text. Well, anyway, text, table, header, footer. Yeah, no, in the position of the text, please, in the body. Header, body, footer, you can see you can even specify at that level of precision. At the end of specific position or at index, I could even say in which position of the text, Jesus Christ. At the end of specific position, the text. Which text? Which text? Where can we find the text? In the father node or in the grandfather node? In the grandfather node. So, I go to the grandfather node and I select the property of text. Right. Action. I could do several actions, but you see here I'm adding several actions because you can do, for example, first find the position, then replace, then change the text. Like, you can go really deep, but I'm not gonna go in scenarios so complex. Honestly, I'm not gonna go that deep. And fields. What is this? Update fields. No, this is not real. I think this is not. I don't even know what this is doing, to be honest. Let's execute the node. If I don't get anything red on the right, error. Perhaps forbidden. Check your credentials. Oh, why? Why? Node Google. Perhaps it's because document. I have an error that says that my credentials. Google Docs. That's strange because I was allowed to create, but not to edit. Okay, what is happening now? It's happening that I'm missing something in the Google Cloud. I forgot to do one part. Which part did I forget to do? The part of enable APIs and services, and I need to enable the Google Docs API. Google Docs API, enable. I was allowed to create because probably the creation action it's related with the Google Drive and not the Google Docs. That's what I believe. Yeah, that's what I believe. Yes. Let's try again. That's enabled now. I'll repeat the same process. Execute now. And now it worked. I'm only getting the same ID of the document ID, but if I go to my previous document, here you have it. Look at this. This is the Gmail. Okay, what I will do now to show you that this is properly working, because I will leave the bot as, so the workflow, sorry. Create document, update document. I will leave it as active, okay? And now I will not click in execute workflow. No. I will leave it as active and I will come to the executions, okay? I'll wait here. And I will send myself now an email with this time, with a certain time, with the current time. So I have an email with the text, hello, now it's 0037. I'll send it. Send. Look, okay, this is the email that was sent. And now we said that the workflow should execute every minute. So I will pause the video. Look at the time, 0:38. No, you don't see it now, sorry. 00:38. And I will not, imagine that this could be minimized. I could be working on whatever I'm doing, blah, 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 like not really worried about this. And at some point, yes, look, I didn't do anything and the execution started automatically because every minute it's fetching the Gmail API. And now let's see if there is any problem. Succeeded at 0038. It has read the email. Yes. It has created a document called, I don't know the name of the document, we will see now. And it has updated the document. Let's see in Google Drive the result. Let's see it in Google Drive. Recent, hello. Hello, now it's 0037. Fantastic. Which is the email that I just sent myself. Okay, you see? It was created, a new file, and updated. Great. Is it really useful, this workflow? I don't know, perhaps, but the purpose of now is that you see several workflows and you see the dynamics of how they are being created, and so just chill out. Please repeat the same process for yourself, and if you see that when a Gmail is sent, a Google Docs is created in your Google Drive, and the text of that file, it's the one that you received, we are progressing very successfully. I was thinking a Spanish word, but makes no successfully, that's the word.